Hello, welcome to my PWH History Preview. Today we are going to talk about the Unit 3 Topic 2, Empire's Administration in Stuart England, Bourbon French, Habsburg Spain, Romanov Russia, and Tokugawa Japan. We start from the monarchy and social hierarchy in Europe first. The divine right royal absolutist is a monarch that claims he or she is given all power and authority by God, and the politic, by contrast, is a leader that puts politics ahead of religion. Three estate in French is first estate, the clergy, Catholic church leader; second estate, nobility, landlords and ladies; third estate, peasants, and all other, the 98% of the population. The feudalism is a European social hierarchy, and it is lack of social mobility. The serfdom is when peasants were tied to the land for room and food, with no prospect of owning their own land or moving out or up. It is not slavery, but it is still awful. It lasted longest in Russia until 1861. Taxation without representation was ultimately the primary grievance and reason for revolution in Britain, America, France, and elsewhere. We're now going to the start in England. When Elizabeth first died without an heir and ended the Tudor line in 1603, James I, a Protestant cousin from Scotland, became the first Stuart king. During the reign of James I, many nobles became Protestant and some emigrated to Massachusetts. In 1628, Charles I signed the Petition of Right, promised to get the approval of Parliament before taxation, but he did not abide by it. In the English Civil War, the parliamentarians led by Oliver Cromwell defeated the royalists led by Charles I, who was subsequently executed, and the English eventually betrayed Cromwell and he died of disease. Cromwell had a terrible renown on the Irish and Scots. And that is not what's the only thing we have for today. We also have the restoration of the monarchy. By 1660, the English wanted the monarchy back. The restoration of the monarchy with Charles II was initially joyous, but ultimately frustrating. Charles II was known as the merry monarch. He had 12 children, but none with his wife, so they have no rights to inheritance. So the throne passed to his brother James II, who was extremely Catholic. For the English monarchy in this period, you can remember it as James, Charles, James, which is James first, Charles second, James first, Charles first, Charles second, and James second. And in 1688, rather than wage another civil war, Parliament replaced James II with his Protestant daughter and her husband from the Netherlands, who is William III and Mary. They signed the English Bill of Rights, and this coup known as the Glorious Revolution. This bloodless revolution and the late 17th century brought peace to England and created a world's first constitutional monarchy. And this sets the stage for the start of the Industrial Revolution of the late 18th century. William and Mary had no heirs, so Mary's sister Anne have 18 pregnancy but no heir. Last but not least, we have Guy Fawkes. In November 5, 1605, Guy Fawkes and other Catholic accomplices plotted to blow up the British Houses of Parliament. They were stopped, but Guy Fawkes Day is still celebrated in England. Now let's transfer our vision to the Bourbons in French. Henry of Navarre, the Calvinist Huguenot ruler who had sparked the conflict by marrying the sister of Valois' king, which led he became the first Bourbon king of France and named himself Henry IV. The conflict is that France is a Catholic country, but their ruler, Henry of Navarre or Henry IV, is a Calvinist or Huguenot, which is Protestant. He later separated from his first wife, Margaret, and married Mary de' Medici, with whom he had children, including his heir Louis XIII. He had converted to Catholicism and saying that the Paris was a mess. To prevent another event like the 1572 Saint Bartholomew Day Massacre, Henry IV issued the Edict of Nantes in 1598, which granted the right of worship to both Huguenots and Catholics. However, in 1610, Henry IV was still assassinated by a Catholic fanatic. Going deeper, we have the Lafayette domain. Louis XIV and Louis XV spent their money extravagantly on wars and luxuries. So Louis XVI summoned the Estate General for the first time in 175 years to ask for a tax increase to pay down the national debt. The Third Estate demanded greater representation in government from the First Estate and Second Estate, because each estate had only one vote, so the masses always lost to the elite. And what thing happened later we all know, the French Revolution and the Napoleon War. Going to another a Catholic country, we have Habsburg Spain. Spain King Philip II, the son of Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, was the most Catholic of kings. During the Golden Age, he tried to suppress communism in France and the Netherlands, but his intervention proved counterproductive in both countries. Philip II is not able to thwart communism, but the Spanish halted the Muslim Turks at the 1571 Battle of Lepanto. Philip II, angered by his former sister-in-law Elizabeth I's support for the Dutch rebels, responded by sending the Spanish Armada to invade England in 1588. The English defeated them decisively, and this victory marked the supremacy of England over Spain. Spain continued to take colonies, including the Philippines. They mined too much silver from the Latin American colonies that caused an inflation at their home country. Going to east, we have the Romanovs in Russia. Romanov Tsar Peter I the Great did not consult with Russian aristocrats of the Duma or the Zemsky Sober when he westernized Russia. Russia being named as Muscovy, and during Peter's reign, Moscow became known as the Third Rome. Peter first differed from other monarchs because he focused on culture change. He thought Russians would be more competitive and cooperative with Europe if they adopted Western dress and attitude towards women. Russia's window on the west was the city of St. Petersburg, which is a port city in Baltic Sea, established in 1703 and remained the capital until 1917. The St. Petersburg, after the fall of the Soviet Union, became the Leningrad. Beer tax is an effort to promote westernization, because Russian nobles have a long beard, and in effort of Peter I to Reformation, they cut off the beard, or they need to pay a tax. And last, we are going to talk about the Tokugawa shoguns. Many content we already talked about, so I will just point it out one big thing. From the 12th to 19th century, shoguns instead of emperor controlled Japan with the help and sometimes challenge of daimyo, and until Meiji Reformation, which bring back the emperor to Japan.